If you want to gain access to top tier weapons and armor in Frontiers of Pandora early, you'll have to spend hours and hours on research and material hunting to get your hands on the best exquisite materials to craft them. My name is 4M, and in today's video I'm going to share these high value targets and their locations to help you get these in no time. From exquisite creeper moss, rain thistle and cloaked panther loot, this video basically covers all the most important farm locations and the best blueprints to start crafting insane upgrades for your blue character. So let's get right to it. I quickly want to say a huge thanks to you guys for the overwhelmingly positive feedback I received on my previous avatar videos. You have no idea how much you'll help out the channel by hitting that like button and share your thoughts about this video in the comments down below. Especially on this specific video, I spent many hours to document all the exquisite resource locations, so very much appreciated. This guide primarily focuses on armor resources, while I already made one for weapons, top tier bows which you should get your hands on for the early game, make your character a lot more powerful, a full guide which you can find at the top right of the screen. Anyways, let's get down to business. Alright, so we're currently in the Zeswa clan home. If we turn around and walk towards the center of the village, this is basically where you want to go, exactly in the middle of the village in the upper plains. As right here you can find a crew who sells a wide variety of items but also different designs to craft amazing gear, which he also has available in his shop. Just like any other Navi blueprint vendor, these are entirely for free to pick up. Anyways, in the tent right next to him we also find a crafting table, so right now we can start crafting the gear. For the headband we're gonna need shells as primary material and teeth as secondary. Before we start harvesting any of these resources, I definitely recommend you to empty your inventory, as you will come across plenty more during your hunting adventures, so you can stock up on enough so you can craft plenty more things while you're at it. All shells can be found in the upper plains biome, while I recommend you to go for the river rock shells, as these give you stealth bonus. The other two are resistance bonuses, which aren't that great. The rare variant of these shells can often be found near the lower part of the rock-strewn river before it reaches the waterfall in the Stonehold sub-region of the upper plains. So this is where you want to go. Far west of the Zeswa clan home, you will find this sub-region, the Stonehold. You basically want to go to the southwest of this place, where you also found a Pillar Shadow Navi camp. This base can only be taken down with a main mission called Combined Forces. I have a full walkthrough for you in the top right of the screen if you want to get down to business as quick as possible, know exactly how you can trigger it and complete the mission. Anyways, after you've taken out the RDA facility, you want to make your way to the other side of the river, right here, as this is where you can pick up these river rock shells. Some of them will be regular quality, while others can be exquisite at this specific location. In the same area, you can also find petrified bones of exquisite quality. Be sure to keep an eye out for those as well. You can find them in this entire zone, so be sure to not stick too close to the riverbank itself. Next up, we have teeth, for which I recommend you to hunt for cloaked panthers, as these have the hands down best crafting material with plus wildlife damage, which is going to make your hunting game a lot easier. I recommend you to travel to the northern part of the upper plains to an amazing hunting grounds, the Shattered Forest. An amazing quick travel for this place would be the Overlook Field Lab, which you can find only a little bit west of the Great Heart Lake. You want to hear for high-pitched screeches, which are the cloaked panthers, usually in packs of 3 or 4. As you can see right here, we have 4 of them, 3 of exquisite quality and 1 of superior. It's always recommended to eat some snacks, which dramatically increase your damage output, as these guys can be pretty tricky to tackle fast. A clean kill is not essential for an exquisite harvest, while it will definitely increase the values of the armor crafted. For the moss, there's different kinds of moss, Bruce moss, Skyrock moss and creeping moss, which I totally recommend you to get your hands on, as this one will increase your wildlife damage. Hands down the best stat of the 3 to pick up if you want to make hunting a lot easier. And boy oh boy, I already saw plenty of comments on my previous videos asking 4M, where on earth do I get this material, especially the exquisite type. So according to the Hunter's Guide, you basically want to search on petrified trees, which are basically smaller tree bits on which we found the shells, but also larger pillars spiking out of the ground, which don't even look like trees. These can be found in the exact same region where we hunted the cloaked panthers, and they can be pretty big. But specifically, rare creeping moss is often found on top of standing petrified trees. And this is the important part. Don't literally translate on top, as they're gonna be on the very top of them. You actually want to search on the whole length of these bad boys rather than the top, as I never found them there. So now that we get a little bit closer, we can scan the entire tree, and look at that. We've got one right here, and we've got another one right there. And yeah, be sure to have your trigger finger ready to call in your Ikran if you have the feeling that you're gonna fall to your death. I actually managed to harvest at least 3 exquisite mosses from this specific pillar, only a little bit northeast of the Bellsprig. So that right there is the Bellsprig, and this is the big boy petrified tree pillar. Then we also have heavy hides, for which you should hunt for blade heads, as once again these come with the best hides in the game with bonus stealth stats. All the rest of these dudes come with lower values or resistances, which I don't think are going to be interesting to maximize your damage output. Since we're already in this zone, I think an amazing quick travel would be the Overlook Field Labs once again. As if you look towards the south, this is where you will find the Great Heart Lake, but in these little pools, you will find plenty of blade heads as well. A small group just ran off, while we still have a couple more right here. Definitely be sure to focus on the mature ones, as their materials harvested usually come with the highest values. Look at that, we've got a bladed horn, heavy hide, and fatty meat with 52 item level. And if you still somehow want to have other type of resistance heavy hides, well, you can find plenty of wildlife in this area to hunt as well. More blade heads, soundblast colossus, and even cloaked panthers. Anyways, next up you want to focus on bark. Both skill bark and stairfoot bark are of lower levels from the Kinglore Forest, so be sure to take at least bloodleaf bark for the best values. This is a pretty easy harvest, as you unlock the quick travel to this location at the very beginning in the upper plains, as the quick travel to it will be right next to the Ovation Falls, which basically borders these two regions, and this is where you will have the celebration arches. If you use the grazing grounds quick travel and fly straight north, well, this is where you will have the crimson trees. Pretty big trees with red leaves, and if you scan them, look at the very bottom, you should be able to find bloodleaf bark for the best values. The exact location where I picked up my first exquisite quality material was right here. Most of them seem to have superior quality when I was scanning them with my Navi powers, while I had most of my luck at the smaller ones. For the skill bark, we actually have to quickly make our way to the Spinner Circle, check out the drier falls in the Kinglore Forest. Alright, so this is where we have the waterfall. Right now, what you want to do is press and hold your Navi powers and search for these bluish toned scaled trees. See? Twisted scale tree. At the very bottom of them, you should be able to find those scale barks. It can be a little bit more tricky to get up to these trees, but you basically want to use those vine lifts or jump from one tree to the next to reach the scale bark. This is the exact location where I picked up mine, right in between the waterfall of the Dire Falls and the Sadentu totem. For fiber, I don't really recommend you to go for the highest values, as this only gives you ranged resistance or stealth, while if you go with the Lionberries, these actually give you plus 5% weak spot damage. Amazing once again for hunting. These can be found south of the Silk Woods at the river's embrace. And wow, look at that sunrise, by the way, at the Hallelujah Mountains. But yes, just fly straight to the south, and this is where you should find exquisite Lionberry. From my experience, the words around the river's embrace are very important to follow, as I wasn't very lucky finding this resource inside the zone. I think the best time to quickly pick up some lion fiber is to quick travel to River's Run, a Navi camp which you can find southwest of the Gas Harvester Alpha. As right here, around the river, you will find plenty of different Lionberries. So we've got an exquisite quality right there, and we've got plenty more along the river. That's the second one. So that's our first pristine quality during the day. And we've got another one right here. Sweet. Another fiber which you're going to need for plenty different crafts is the Rain Thistle, which can be found on cliffs. The exquisite ones specifically are to be found at the top of the Great Tusk in the southeast of the Upper Plains during the day. The Great Tusk is a little bit confusing to find on the map, while you basically want to make your way to the Celebration Value and check out this big chunk of rock on the map, which is a little bit south of the Dredger Echo, so this would be a perfect location to quick travel to. Seems like we've got some company of RDA noobs, so let's quickly take out those metal birds. But these honestly are the least of your concerns, as you basically have to make your way to the very top, where you can find a very hostile Leonopteryx. I'm kidding guys, you don't have to go to this spot to get your hands on them. You can also go to the side, as I didn't even come across any of the exquisites at the very top. I was exploring this lower plateau, where we also have this broken down RDA chopper, and this is actually where I found my first exquisite resource. We've got many purples in the same region, but look at that, another exquisite quality rain thistle. The last material which we need for some top tier armor crafts of superior quality would be the light hide of a cloaked panther. This is more of a bonus, as we've already hunted for the cloaked panther earlier, so you should already have exquisite hides in your inventory. If you somehow did skip the exquisite tooth hunting part earlier in this video, be sure to check out the timestamp in the description. Alright, so now we're ready to craft some top tier pieces of armor of superior quality with the highest values and best stat bonuses. I think the best place to do this is to visit the crafting station in the Zeswa clan in the upper plains, as right here you will have quick access to your stash, so you can easily access all the resources you found. It is very important that you check the values, so you don't craft armor with lower item values, otherwise you will basically ruin the craft. So let's start off with our head guard. I have two different blueprints, one with HP up to 178, while the other one up to 115. While this one gives me plus 15% weak spot damage, which is much better than range resistance or bonus HP. So I'm going to focus on this one. The next step is also very important. You want to make sure you take the highest values possible for your craft. Right now I have 63 on each, so that will be a no-brainer, while for the second we want to settle with exquisite. Voila, look at that, we now have a craft with 95 HP, 50% weak spot damage, stealth and melee resistance. For the chest guard, same rule, we've got mounted damage, weak spot damage and regular HP. So I'm gonna settle with the weak spot damage, as I think it's the best one for hunting. Throw in one of the exquisite creeping moss we got our hands on for bonus wildlife damage, and then search for the highest quality cloaked panther tooth, which is gonna be 42. Press craft and voila! We've got a Koranus shell with 94 HP, 50% weak spot damage and even more wildlife. For the arm guard, we've got different designs as well. Wildlife damage, bonus HP, stealth, and nothing at all. So I'm gonna go with the wildlife damage once again. Search for the highest value, which is gonna be this blade head heavy hide with bonus stealth. And then take the 44 HP bloodleaf bark. Look at that, a 99 HP craft with again wildlife damage, stealth, and some resistances. I found an exquisite waistcloth earlier. Again, the Kite Builder's waistguard is part of my video in the top right of the screen, how you can get your hands on this blueprint. So now we're going to focus on the dire waist wrap. So we could choose between the Lionberry fiber with 40 HP or the Rain Thistle with 3% resistance. I prefer weak spot damage. So now let's also throw in the highest value Cloaked Panther Tooth for the maximum values. Look at that, 10% stealth, 5% weak spot and bonus wildlife damage. Last but not least are ankle guards. Let's settle with a wildlife damage once again. Go with a Cloaked Panther light hide of the highest level, 59 with 3% stealth, and throw in one of those bloodleaf barks which we've gathered earlier for over 103 HP, wildlife damage, stealth and some resistances. So there we go, now we go from 35 to 95, from 28 to 94, 74 to 99. Not gonna equip this one, as we already got our hands on the Kite Builder waistguard, which I show you in another video. And we also go from 36 to 103 with the ankle guards. When we click on our level right here, you can see your combat strength with all the different values of both your weapons and armor. Unfortunately though, it's not possible to check out everything in detail. Even with the bonuses right here, we don't see what our weak spot damage currently is, but this is of course always visible when you hover over the items right here. Alright, so there you have it, everything you need to know to get your hands on top tier exquisite resources with the best possible stats for crafting amazing early and mid game in-game armor to make your adventures in Avatar Frontiers and Pandora so much easier. Wow, that was a mouthful. Anyways, guys, a big thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and stay tuned for more, as plenty more Avatar guides are coming your way. If you have any thoughts, suggestions for future videos, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Right now, though, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you an amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video or live stream. Take care. Peace.